Ukraine's drone attacks caused major chaos in Russian air traffic over the weekend. The largest airports serving Moscow and St. Petersburg were among those forced to limit activities on Sunday. Airlines lost about 20 billion rubles or $253.7 million due to the collapse of air traffic on July 5 to 6 due to Ukrainian drone attacks. The costs of canceling flights in the first 24 hours at 3 airports are estimated at 4 to 6 billion rubles. This is reported by the Kommersant newspaper. As of 1800 hours on July 6, more than 537 flights have been cancelled at Sheremetyevo, Pulkovo and Strigino airports, and over 376 have been delayed by more than 2 hours. It is noted that the airline loses from 15 to 23 million rubles from the cancellation of one flight of a Boeing 737-800 aircraft in a 2-class layout. This amount includes the costs of airport services at average rates, crew work and fuel. Thus, in the first day, the cancellation of flights at 3 airports cost the companies 3.9 to 5.9 billion rubles. It is specified that, on average, the amount of additional costs for airlines due to widespread disruptions to flight schedules in Russia per day could reach 20 billion rubles. Earlier it was reported that air traffic between Moscow and St. Petersburg could be restricted again. Pulkovo Airport introduced a carpet regime for the reception and release of civil aircraft. Due to restrictions on the operation of airports in central Russia, more than 500 flights were postponed or cancelled. The largest number of cancellations and delays occurred at Sheremetyevo Airport, about 200 flights. About 100 flights were postponed or cancelled at Pulkovo. About 50 flights were postponed at Kharkiv, and about 30 flights were postponed in Sochi. Passengers were recommended to travel by train as an alternative. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said 6 Ukrainian drones were shot down as they approached the capital, but he did not provide details on possible damage. The governor of the Belgorod region, Vyacheslav Gladkov, said Ukrainian drones injured 2 civilians near the border area. The Ukrainian attacks followed several major bombings by Russian forces in Kiev, which killed at least 2 people and injured dozens more. On July 6, restrictions introduced the day before at Russian airports due to drone threats continued. This was reported by Russian telegram channels. The cancellation of hundreds of flights, mostly in the capital cities Moscow and St. Petersburg, caused chaos and unrest. Thousands of passengers spent the night at the airport. Some airlines cancelled flights and refunded passengers. Some passengers turned to railway transport, which led to a ticket crisis. Although flights resumed at some airports on Sunday afternoon, by the evening, restrictions were reimposed at Pulkovo Airport in St. Petersburg and Sheremetyevo Airport in Moscow due to the drone threat. Restrictions were also implemented at airports in Ekaterinburg, Nizhny Novgorod, Kaliningrad, Ivanova, Kaluga, Pskov, and Tambov. Over the past 24 hours, 287 flights were delayed at major airports in Russia. The number of delayed flights on Sunday alone was 106. It is worth noting that over the past 2 days, the Russian Ministry of Defense stated that air defense systems in the mentioned regions had neutralized dozens of Ukrainian drones.
As reported, Ukrainian missile strike, on the 2nd of July reportedly killed Major General Mikhail Gudkov, Russia's deputy commander-in-chief of the Navy, in Kursk Oblast near the Ukrainian border. The strike targeted the forward command post of the 155th Naval Infantry Brigade in the village of Sheremetyevo, according to an obituary posted by a Russian Marine veterans group. The Typhoon Veterans Organization claimed 4 missiles struck the site, killing over 10 Russian officers, including several senior commanders. Russia's Ministry of Defense later confirmed Gudkov's death, stating only that he died during combat work in a border district. Gudkov is the 11th confirmed Russian general to die since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022. Other notable deaths include Lieutenant General Yaroslav Moskalik, killed in an April 2025 car bombing near Moscow, Major General Sergei Goryachev, and Lieutenant General Oleg Sokov, killed by missile strikes during Ukraine's 2023 counter-offensive. Major General Vladimir Zavadsky, killed by a landmine in late 2023. General Pavel Klimenko, who died in a motorcycle crash in November 2024, possibly while evading a drone. General Igor Kirillov, Russia's top chemical and biological defense officer, assassinated in Moscow in December 2024 by a scooter bomb. Ukraine's SBU claimed responsibility. Recall, Gudkov's death was also announced by Primorsky Krai Governor Oleg Kozemyako, who said the general died fulfilling his duty as an officer and had continued personally visiting frontline Marine positions even after his promotion. Before his promotion in March 2025, Gudkov commanded the 155th Naval Infantry Brigade, which played a central role in Russia's siege and assault on Mariupol in 2022. The months-long operation devastated the Ukrainian port city, leaving large portions in ruins. To this day, the true number of civilian casualties remains unknown, though estimates suggest thousands may have died. Gudkov's leadership in Mariupol earned him direct praise from President Vladimir Putin, who awarded him the title Hero of Russia and said his performance should be a model of other units. The 155th Brigade, considered an elite unit, has suffered extensive casualties during the war. A BBC report from December 2023 confirmed at least 234 soldiers killed, with total losses, including the wounded and missing, likely exceeding 1,450. The brigade also reportedly suffered heavy losses in Sudza, a border area in Kursk Oblast that saw fighting during a Ukrainian cross-border incursion in August 2024. Though Russian forces later regained control, the clashes revealed gaps in border security and inflicted serious casualties on elite units, including the 155th Brigade. Early in the war, Russian generals were frequently present near frontline positions to speed up battlefield decision-making, a practice that has continued to result in high-ranking casualties. But Russian dictators' general losses will continue.